the Avatar ranking characters video. Whatever. That was a terrible intro, but whatever. We got to keep it snappy. We got to keep it fast for the video watchers, not the stream watchers. So we're going to go ahead and start off. We got S, A, B, C, D, and F ranks. There were like separate categories for avatars, but I got rid of that because I felt that that was kind of limiting. So we're going to go ahead and get into it. So, first character we got on the list is Zula. Zula is my favorite character right now. She just is. Like, you know, like her arc is open right now. She's like the fiercest woman in the show. Only character we ever see with like blue flames. Incredibly, like, I mean, like, there's, on the surface she seems like she's really simple, but she's actually quite deep. And, you know, if you watch any of my videos on her, especially the ones coming up, you'll see that. So I'm gonna go ahead, I'm putting like a Zula, not D. I'm gonna put a Zula in A territory. She's my favorite character right now, but I don't think she deserves to be S, but she's up there. So Zula's an A. No, sorry, I did that by accident. Okay, this is like a spirit character from Korra. I do not remember much about this guy or this gal. I'm not. So I'm gonna be nice because I actually like Korra, and I'm gonna put this guy in C tier. Don't really know anything about Admiral Zhao. Now, Admiral Zhao, I know there's a lot of people out there who probably wouldn't rank Admiral Zhao very high, but I do, because I think that Admiral Zhao is actually a pretty important character, right? Like, he's the first dude to talk about, like, the spirit library. He's like Zuko's first Azula. He's like off-brand Azula, basically. And I want you guys to really think about that. Like, Azula was introduced to be like Zuko's bad guy in book 2, and to kind of be like somebody who went after Aang and all that. Zhao did all that before Azula. Now, yeah, he was way worse at it. He's way less iconic and way less skilled. But I actually think Zhao is a little more intelligent and maybe a little more threatening, more powerful than a lot of people give him credit for. So I'm actually probably gonna give Zhao a B. I actually enjoy that character a lot. And his voice acting and everything, I just really enjoy Admiral Zhao. Now, I don't know why this is on here. This is just like generic firebending guards. Generic firebending guards just always get beat up. They're like stormtroopers, basically, if you watch Star Wars. So I'm gonna go ahead and just put them in the D category. They're never really gonna get a win. They might have got a couple wins if I'm remembering right, but Boomy. Now, I love Korra now. I love Korra, guys. I actually do. And Boomy is one of the reasons why I love Korra. Boomy is just like such a, he's like Sokka, right? Like, he's really silly. He's really cool, but he's like everyone's older annoying brother. I have an older annoying brother who's just like Boomy. So I'm definitely gonna rank him real high. I just love him. I just love like his whole arc with airbending and all that, and how he felt like a little inadequate because he wasn't a bender and all of his siblings were, and how that colored his relationship with Aang. I love all of that. Plus, he's one of the funniest characters in the show. I won't call him the funniest, because there's a couple more people in Korra who I think are actually a lot funnier than Boomy, but he's up there. He's one of my favorites. So I'm gonna put Boomy probably. Sorry, I'm probably gonna put him in A tier with Azula. Okay, right now I'm gonna put him at the top of B tier, but it's subject to change. All right, ignore that. Okay, Dai Li, like, I guess, I don't know if this is supposed to be, like, just the Dai Li, like, in general, but the Dai Li in general are pretty cool. Like, they're, like, the precision, like, secret police earthbenders of, Ba Sing Se. They gave, the gang quite a bit of a problem, even with Toph. Now, let's think about this. Even with Toph, sometimes they were having some pretty huge issues with the Dai Li, so they're pretty good. So I'm gonna put them probably the top of C for now. Like, all of this is subject to change, guys, but I have zero clue who this guy is. I'm sorry. Like, if any of you guys out there like love Korra and hate me for not knowing who this guy is, I'm sorry. But I'm gonna be nice to Korra, and I'm gonna put him in C tier behind this other guy who I don't know nothing about. Alright, Guru Pati. Now, you know, my favorite episode of Avatar, guys, when I was growing up and basically up until, like, I started making YouTube videos, was Zuko alone, right? After I made my video on like why Aang forgave the Fire Nation, please go watch that if you haven't. After I watched that, I made that video. I mean, like the episode "The Guru" became my favorite episode. Like that episode is just so beautiful, and he's a big part of the reason why. Like, just like this character, he's like over 100 years old. He's older than Aang is, right? He was a spiritual brother of the air nomads. It's like so cool, and like this guy just has like that, you know, that super laid back aesthetic about him and approach to life, and he has like all the spiritual crazy stuff that he does, and he teaches Aang some pretty cool stuff. He's like the Yoda of Avatar: The Last Airbender, basically. Like they kind of did steal from Star Wars for the book 2 finale, so if you know what I'm talking about. So I really like Guru Patik. Guru Patik is gonna get probably right there in front of Zhao in the B tier. Alright, so this is, I forget his name. I'm sorry. I'm supposed to be like a super fan of Avatar and I'm forgetting God's name, but I know exactly who this guy is. He doesn't get much. Like, I feel kind of bad for this. I have not yet read the Kyoshi novels. I don't know if he shows up in that. Oh, Chin the Great. Chin the Great. That's his name. But he's alright for what he is. For what he is, he'll be like ahead of these guys for what he is. Like, this guy was ballsy enough to stand up to Avatar Kyoshi. You gotta be kind of ballsy to do that. So he gets in the middle, you know. Let's see. Alright, so this is Chief Arnook. If you guys don't remember, he was the chief of the Northern Water Tribe during the Siege of the North. I actually like Chief Arnook. You know, like, he's not in the show that much, but I really do like his character, so I'm probably gonna put him right behind the Dai Li in C tier. Alright, this guy from Korra. Don't remember his name, but I do remember his personality. He has a really fun personality. Like, he doesn't really like humans, and in some ways I can definitely relate to that. And like, he has like this whole little friendship thing kind of going on with Avatar 1. Go watch Beginnings if you haven't. It's really good. I mean, I know a lot of people complain about the lore, but it is still really good. So I'm gonna get this guy for now. He's gonna be right below the Dai Li. I really do like him. Alright, this guy who looks like such. I think I cannot remember the name. I'm sorry. It's been a little bit since I've seen Korra, but from what I can remember, there's not a lot to this guy. I think this is the guy who like Kuviro's married to, who she like betrayed. That's the most that I can remember about him. So I'm probably gonna give him, he'll be in here somewhere, just slightly ahead of these people I don't really remember. Alright, so we get to Asami, and I really do like Asami. I think Asami is a pretty good character. It's just she doesn't have much depth to her. Like, past like book 1 of Korra, I feel like she has stuff to do. It's just she's not as interesting, right? Like, I did like, she did get a moment with her dad in book 4 that I really liked. That was good, but besides that, Asami doesn't get much except for with Korra, if you guys know what I'm talking about. Yeah, she does get that, and like, I'm all for Korra Asami. I think Korra Asami is a good thing. The way it happened might not have been the best, you know. I'm gonna, you know, there's a lot of behind the scenes on that. And, you know, the way it was executed, I'm not gonna say I liked all about that. But just Korra Asami in general, I'm behind that ship. I think that's a good ship. The only thing bad about it, I feel, is what they did to Mako, because Mako, has still not recovered and probably won't ever recover at this point. He's just completely destroyed. So I'm gonna give Asami just slightly ahead of the Dai Li. Bosco the bear. Immediate. Alright. He's just a bear. I'm gonna put him right here. Some people might get really pissed at me for that, but it's like, he's just a bear. Like, come on. Bolin. Now, I really do like Bolin. I like Bolin way, way, way more than Mako. Right? Like, Bolin just has such a nice personality. And he's not always funny, but when he is, he is. He's really funny when he's really funny. And, you know, I think we all kind of know someone who's like Bolin. Like, Bolin is incredibly relatable. Right? So I really like him for that reason, too. And, like, he's a lava bender. That's really cool. Like, I did kind of like where he's like, I like that they established that not every earthbender can metal bend, right? Because that needs to be established because metal bending, I feel, is a little bit, maybe a little too many people have it anymore, right? But, to give him lava bending, at first I didn't really like that. But I actually kind of like it now, I actually like that Bolin got something, So I'm going to go ahead and probably put Bolin, I'm gonna put him right here by Boomy. I'm not exactly sure. Those two characters are incredibly similar. Like I don't really know which one of them I like more. I kind of like them both about the same, but I think they're great characters though. Really do like Bolin. All right, Eska and just like, do they come together? I guess that makes sense. I do like these characters. Like, I like their, like, a lot of people don't like May from the first series Avatar: Last Airbender, but I feel like they don't like May because I feel like May's whole thing, where she's supposed to be like a gloomy sort of goth chick, I feel like they didn't lean into it enough to make it as interesting as it should have been. Now, I still do really like May as a character, and she's one of my favorites, actually. It's just, I really feel like they could have gone further with her. But with these two, I think they kind of really nailed it. I think that they're just like one tier higher into kind of making fun of that and being extreme about it, to the point where it's actually funny and it's actually like more of like a character thing that you can get behind and not more like, are they boring, right? So I really do like their aesthetic in Korra. Korra's good, guys. Go watch Korra. I know a lot of you guys haven't seen Korra or haven't seen it in a while like me. Like, go see Korra. I'm going to put them probably right behind the Daily. Yeah, somewhere in there. Aunt Wu. Now, if you guys have never seen like Finalysis, it's these guys, Antoine Bandel, I think it's Great Jedi 91. Can't remember the last guy's name, but they do like a podcast on Avatar, and I've seen that thing over and over and over. They had like a whole hour-long discussion about Aunt Wu, and it's really funny. So if you guys haven't seen that, please go watch that. But how do I feel about Aunt Wu? She's just like one of those characters who's just like, Like, I like her, but just like beyond like the fortune telling stuff, there's really not much to the character. Like, she's a little snippy, but that's about it. I'm probably gonna put her right here in front of Chin the Great. Okay, so I think that's this right here. This is Zuko's dragon from Korra. I think his name is Druk. If I'm getting that wrong, feel free to roast me in the comments if you really care. But I don't remember much about him. He's just kind of like a dragon, right? There's not a lot to him, so I'm gonna. Because he's a dragon, I'm going to put him ahead of Bosco. Alright, so this is the Terra team from the drill episode. These guys got, like, annihilated by two ladies. In fact, it may have just been Ty Lee. Like, they never really showed May taking any of them out, I don't think. So these guys may have just got beat up by, like, one 14-year-old girl. And I know, like, this 14-year-old girl has chi blocking and she's crazy on it. I know. But really, a whole group of benders, got taken out by one 14-year-old girl. I mean, that's kind of, I think that's worse than Avatar, than the Fire Nation guards, guys. I think that's a little worse. So I'm putting them in D tier behind even the Firebenders, who I compared to Stormtroopers. These guys are worse than Stormtroopers. Like, these guys are Stormtroopers when you're fighting Han Solo, and these guys are Stormtroopers when you're fighting the Ewoks. Alright, the Fire Sages. I actually really like the Fire Sages. Especially Shainu, right? Now, hot take, I think they should have actually been, like, died in their episode. Like, we see later in the comics that Shainu, I think, the one who helped Aang, that he became, like, a great sage and all that. And I think that's a good thing. But I kind of wanted them to die. Because, like, when like, Zhao captures them and they just committed treason, like, you can be killed for that. I feel like they kind of should have died for that, and it would have made, like, the fact that Shainu, that he helped Aang, it would have made it more impactful. Like, he didn't just help the Avatar, he gave his life for the Avatar, right? So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put Shainu Yeah, I'm just gonna count them in Shinu. Basically, I'm gonna put them right here. Yeah, right there. I think that's a good spot. Appa. Appa's just amazing. Like, I don't really, there's not a lot to say about Appa because he's just Appa, but I think everyone knows that Appa's just amazing.